What exactly do we mean by the term consent? Because in the context of free consent, we first need to understand what consent itself means before we can identify when consent has been given freely. So as per section 13 of the Contract Act 1872, two persons are said to consent when they agree upon the same thing in the same sense. So if we look at this definition closely, we can see that both of the parties must be of the same mind at the time of entering into a contract, and this is precisely what is known as consensus ad idem. Now that we have seen what consent itself means as per section 13, we can see that section 14, which states the definition of free consent, simply goes on to elaborate that consent is said to be free whenever it is not caused by one of the elements that I've mentioned in the other lecture, that is, when it is not caused by coercion or undue influence or fraud or misrepresentation or mistake. So to put it very simply, section 13 first defines consent, and then section 14 goes on to say that consent is said to be free as long as one of these vitiating elements is not present. So instead of having a specific definition of free consent, we simply have a list of certain vitiating elements, that is, certain factors, the presence of which is going to render the consent not free. So in other words, as long as neither of these elements is present, the consent is said to be free. Another important point that you need to know is that the effect of the absence of free consent is, which is given in section 19A of the Contract Act, is that the contract becomes voidable except in the case of mistake. So in the case of mistake, the contract may be either valid or void depending on the nature of the mistake, and I discussed this in the detailed lecture on mistake. But generally remember that the effect of absence of free consent means that the contract becomes voidable. So other than mistake, where the contract may be either valid or void depending on the nature of the mistake, other than mistake, all of the other four elements, that is coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, as far as these four are present in a contract, that is either of these, obviously, because not all have to be present. So as long as either of these is present in a contract, then that contract is going to become voidable. Not void, not valid, but voidable. And I'm really sorry about the disturbance. So in short, let me just repeat this important point. If the consent of the parties has been obtained on the basis of either coercion or undue influence or fraud or misrepresentation, then even if one of these elements is present, it means that the contract becomes voidable. And as far as mistake is concerned, then the presence of this element means that the contract will be either void or valid depending upon the nature of the mistake.